What is up, guys? Welcome back to another quick video here on the Fantasy Fellowship channel. My name is Kyle. In this video, Friday, September 29th, going to go over the final practice reports that happened on Friday here. We're going to hop right into a screen share, and we'll go through. I'm going to try and go through all 32 teams here. I guess 30 teams, because 30 teams are already playing this weekend. So with that being said, let's just kind of go alphabetical here. Looking at the Arizona Cardinals, it looks like Marquise Brown hurt his thumb in practice yesterday. Limited today, limited yesterday. I think he's going to be fine, on track to play, but he's probably going to be labeled as like a game time decision. Looks like James Conner's in full. Not sure what's up with Keontae Ingram. Questionable with a neck injury. He did not practice today. He practiced yesterday, though, so we'll watch for that. There's a backup running back there. I think his last name is like DeMercado. Emari DeMercado would be the next man up there for the Cardinals. But overall, this looks pretty healthy. Let's move on to Atlanta real quick. Atlanta's in good shape here. Josh Allen, Calais Campbell, DNP with a non-injury. We'll maybe see Cordero Patterson for the first time this year. I didn't see an injury designation today, so maybe we see Cordero Patterson play his first game of the season for the Falcons on Sunday. Let's move on to Baltimore, and Baltimore's like looking pretty dinged up right now. Let's go over these ones. You got Rashad Bateman labeled as out, Odell Beckham out, Marlon Humphrey out, David Ojabo out, and Odafe Owe out. Not looking good. Ronnie Stanley also doubtful. The good news is Gus Edwards, who left last week's game with a concussion, looks like he's full practice all week. I think he's going to be a go. And then Justice Hill, DNP on Wednesday, limited yesterday, full practice today. That means to me he's on track to play. So we're going to see Gus Edwards and Justice Hill probably both on the field in this one. I think they're both kind of RB2 flex plays at best here. But interesting, like does not look great for the Baltimore Ravens coming into this one pretty dinged up with a lot of key pieces out. And then I just want to mention like Nelson Aguilar is a guy that I'm keeping my eye on in deeper formats. But anyways, moving on to Buffalo. Buffalo looks pretty good. They did rule out Jordan Poyer, so that's going to hurt their secondary just a little bit here. But everybody else pretty healthy here. This offense is in really good shape. So Buffalo, Miami, that's going to be probably the most exciting game on Sunday, I would say. It's got the most implied point total for sure. But with Poyer out, Tyreek Hill and some of the deep ball action for Miami could be in play. Looking at Carolina, Miles Sanders, limited Wednesday, limited Thursday, DNP today. Now, Frank Reich I did see a blurb where he's expected to play. Not quite sure what's all going on with that, but Sanders will watch his report on Sunday. I think he's going to play. Today seemed kind of like a rest day maybe. And then Mingo, he had the concussion last weekend. Limited. He's going to be a game time decision. Probably not going to play. Adam Thielen just getting rest days here. DJ Chark got a full practice in today. I'm not too concerned about him. So the offense and Bryce Young's back too. So we're going to see a full Bryce Young offense here. We're going to be waiting for Jonathan Mingo. It looks like that's the one. Chicago, they did rule out a few players, but nobody on offense. Travis Homer's questionable. Mercedes Lewis, DNP non-injury. Not too concerned about the Chicago ones. For the Bengals, good news for Joe Burrow, man. Full. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So hopefully he's getting a little bit stronger with that calf injury. They did already rule out Irv Smith with a hamstring. We weren't really using Irv Smith. Charlie Jones also placed on IR, and he had made a couple plays throughout the opening 3 games here, but no Charlie Jones in this one. We'll see what the other rookie can do there. Nothing too concerning here for the Bengals. Looks like Joe Burrow is getting a little bit stronger. Let's move on to the Cleveland Browns. Nobody ruled out for Cleveland. Jerome Ford, full practice. Offensive tackle here. Kareem Hunt, DNP on Wednesday, but limited Thursday, Friday. Deshaun Watson was the weird one, though. He has apparently like a bruised shoulder on his throwing arm. He did not really practice much today. It sounded like he was just kind of like watching the walkthrough. So keep an eye on this one for Sunday. I would be kind of surprised if he doesn't play, but I did go ahead and pick up the rookie quarterback there, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, in one of my Superflex leagues just in case. I'm excited about DTR. I think he could be a fun player if he ever gets a chance to start, but we'll monitor that one. That's the big one for Cleveland. Amari Cooper, non-injury. He just missed on Wednesday. He's good to go. But overall, we'll watch for Watson, but Cleveland looks like they're in decent shape here. The Dallas Cowboys they did rule out Tyron Smith, which, that sucks. Peyton Hendershot questionable with an ankle injury. We have the Tyler Badaz here, the center. He's questionable, the hamstring. Zach Martin questionable with an ankle injury. So the offensive line not at full strength here. Tony Pollard's fine. TD Lamb's fine. But the big concern is the offensive line. It is a tough matchup going up against Bill Belichick's defense, New England in Dallas. The Denver Broncos, let's take a peek. Frank Clark, Josie Jewell, and Mike Purcell out. So the defense dinged up a little bit, that's their weak spot here. Jerry Jeudy's in full, though. So overall, Denver's fantasy offense looks pretty good, but their defense might be something to target. Detroit, Green Bay, those guys played last night. Houston already ruled out Laremy Tunsil, and then his backup, Josh Jones. So they're down to one of their third string tackles, I think, on the left tackle spot here. Michael Dieter, questionable center. He did not practice today. Offensive line is going to be an issue for the Houston Texans this weekend. Otherwise, nobody else for fantasy is really injured. Looks like Tank Dell got some rest. Robert Woods is going to be fine. I still think you're starting Tank Dell, Nico Collins, CJ Stroud's more of a super flex guy for me. And then Dameon Pierce, man, it sucks that he just doesn't have a healthy offensive line yet. The Indianapolis Colts, real quick. We do know that Anthony Richardson was full practice all week. He's been already labeled as the starter, so great to see there. Quentin Nelson was a bit of concern Wednesday, Thursday, but he got a full practice on Friday, so I think he's on track to play. They did rule out two other offensive linemen, though, from concussions, Ryan Kelly and Bernard Raymond here, so a little bit of a ding to the offensive line, but overall, Richardson's healthy. You're playing Pittman, you're playing Zach Moss, and then check your waiver wires for Josh Downs. He might have some value soon. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they did rule out Zay Jones out with a knee injury. He didn't practice all week. And then linebacker Devin Lloyd here. But everybody else looks pretty healthy here. Just no Zay Jones. That's going to make me lean into Christian Kirk and some of the other weapons there. The Chiefs, they ruled out Nick Bolton and Jalen Watson here, some defensive players here. But everybody else practiced in full today besides Chris Jones and Kadarius Toney. We'll see. We're not starting Kadarius Toney. I think he's on the bench until further notice, but Pacheco's good. Watson's good. Patrick Mahomes is fine with that ankle thing he had going on here. So overall, Chiefs look fine. Moving on to the Chargers real quick. They did put their starting center on IR today, Corey Linsley. It says illness. I think he's got some kind of heart or chest related something going on. So hopefully he's going to be okay. That's a huge blow to their offense. One of the better centers in the league here. The Chargers are dinged up as they usually are. You got Bosa questionable with the hammy. He didn't practice all week. Derwin James, doubtful. One of the best safeties in the league, doubtful. And then Leonard here, the cornerback, doubtful. So not looking great for the Chargers here. Some of their better players are out. Gerald Everett's fine. Let me see. Oh, he practiced in full today, but he's on track to play. Keenan Allen's fine. You're starting Keenan Allen. Austin Eckler's the big one here, labeled as doubtful. He got limited practices in all week, but Chargers have a bye next weekend, so I get it. Plan for no Eckler this weekend, guys. It's going to be another Josh Kelly game. Not sure if we're starting him in fantasy. He's more of a low-end RB2 flex play. Has not been great the last two games here, so I get it if you want to leave him on the bench. But Austin Eckler should be good to go week 6. Let's move on to the Rams real quick. DNP for offensive lineman here, Alaric Jackson. Not sure if he's a starter. John Johnson, safety. Offense looks fine. Puka's back to full practices. Tyler Higbee, DNP on Wednesday, Thursday with an Achilles injury, but he gets limited in today. So we'll watch for Tyler Higbee on Sunday. And then Skowronek, we're not really too concerned here. But the Rams look fine. The Raiders going up against the Chargers here. DNP for Curtis Bolton. Otherwise, everybody else got a limited on this report here. Nothing crazy on offense besides Jimmy Garoppolo. He's got the concussion. He didn't practice Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, limited practice capacity, which is fine. We'll just need to watch and see if he gets out of the concussion protocols. We might get a note on that tomorrow, but we'll watch for Jimmy G. The Miami Dolphins are in good shape. They did rule out Jalen Phillips, but that offense is looking good. Tyler Kroft, Durham Smythe, their tight ends all practiced in full. Looks like Salvin Ahmed could play this weekend. Teron Armstead, limited. He's questionable, but Waddle is back. He had the concussion last weekend, but looks like Waddle is going to be back. So the Dolphins getting back to full strength on offense is a good sign. I think the Vikings are in good shape here. Nobody for fantasy football that we need to worry about. I do think Cam Akers is going to play this week. So start your Vikings. Let's see. Don't start Cam Akers, but we'll watch for his usage for sure. Moving on to the Patriots, nobody on offense that we're too concerned of. They have some offensive linemen that are questionable, but I think for the most part, we're not really trusting Patriots in our lineups outside of Ramondre, maybe Hunter Henry. The Saints practice, they get Alvin Kamara back finally, and their offensive line is in trouble. They're going to miss Cesar Ruiz this weekend. He's out with a concussion. Derek Carr, probably not going to play. Like, they labeled him as limited today, but I would be super surprised if he plays. Prepare for Jameis Winston. You're starting Kamara, Olave, maybe Michael Thomas, and we'll see what the Saints can do with Jameis Winston going up against his former team, Tampa Bay. DNP for Andrew Thomas and the Giants. Otherwise, Saquon Barkley limited and limited. Now, this is a Monday night game here, so we're going to get more practice reports on these guys tomorrow, and then maybe even one more on Sunday. But right now, it looks good for Saquon. The fact that he's practicing limited capacity, I do like that. And nobody else really to note on the practice report for the Giants. The Jets, I think they're in good health here. They did rule out a center and a safety. Overall, Mekhi Becton full, Breece Hall full practices. That's good to see for Breece Hall. Maybe we see him get a little bit more involved in the offense, but overall, Jets look healthy. I think the Eagles are relatively healthy as well. Just one guy ruled out here, Sidney Brown, the safety. Everyone else seems to be pretty healthy here. Devonta Smith missed Thursday with an illness, but he got limited today, so he's fine. And then they did rule out Quez Watkins. We weren't really using Quez Watkins. Steelers, I believe they are in decent shape. They did roll out a guard here, James Daniels, and Presley Harvin, the punter, whatever. But otherwise, offense looks to be in good shape. Start your George Pickens, maybe Najee, and probably Jalen Warren, honestly. I think Pickett can be a QB2 in Superflex leagues. Looking at the Seahawks, they play Monday night. They haven't released their Friday report yet, but I did see DK Metcalf did not practice yesterday. I think they're just being cautious with him. He's the one that we'll have to watch and see going forward, but I think he's probably going to play through it. Moving on to the 49ers. Jawan Jennings, wide receiver 3, doubtful. Elijah Mitchell did not practice today. That's concerning with the knee injury. So we'll watch for Jordan Mason as well as Tyrion Davis-Price. If Mitchell can't go, I'm curious to see who the backup running back is. Brandon Ayuk, good to go. He's in full practice today. And Deebo Samuel, he missed Wednesday and Thursday, but he gets a limited in today, leaving the light on for him to play. We're going to have to watch Deebo. But some concerns on the 49ers, man. We got to watch Deebo. We got to watch Elijah Mitchell. And we'll note those guys on Sunday for you. This is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A couple DNPs. They ruled out 4 guys already, all on the defensive side of the ball. Nobody injured on offense, so we'll kind of let that one go. Tennessee, they've been dinged up pretty bad all week. They did rule out Treylon Burks, ruled out a guard, ruled out a safety and a linebacker here. Derrick Henry got a full practice in today. DeAndre Hopkins full practice today. So if you guys need those 2 guys, I think I'm fine with them in your lineups. And then the final team here, the Washington Commanders. Chris Rodriguez, the backup running back, is out. Otherwise, this looks pretty good. Logan Thomas is back from his concussion, so he's a tight end streamer option for you guys. And then I do just want to double check and make sure there are no headlines that I need to just shout out here. But if you guys want to hang out with me tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing a player prop show at, I think, 9 a.m. with my good friend Jesse. No start-sit questions in that one, please. We're just going to be talking about, player prop bets and things like that. But Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, I will be going live with the Inactives Actives. If you guys want to hang out and get your final questions in before the Sunday lock, that's what we'll be doing. But for now, that's going to do it for me. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Have a great Saturday, and maybe we'll see you guys on Sunday morning. Thanks for watching. Peace.